Oh, nice. Hello. Whoops. Let me get out of here. Not leave me. How do I go back to the green room?
In the top left, there should be a little icon. Go back to breakout room.
God. Thank you.
Do we not want to be in this room?
No, we do.
Oh, okay.
Not sure why she went back. You want to exit? Come back in the main room.
What room are we in?
The main one.
Okay.
No, you're good. Our comics are having trouble getting out of the green room. Yeah, it's just so comfy in there, you know.
Recording in progress. Hello.
All right, so let's stop this.
Ooh, God. Excuse me.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yay.
Sorry for the late start. We were hoping to have a larger crowd, and we had some of our crowd disappear, so hopefully they'll come back.
We'll perform to each other.
It is amazing how it's just hard for people to get here on time. It's just such a long commute, you know.
I know. I drove for hours. Couldn't fucking find it, man.
And parking is horrendous.
I know. I got a ticket. Like, no, I really did get a ticket Wednesday. Oh, well.
Well, you know, at least the good news is that, you know, I don't have to wear pants. I like that.
Yeah, I'm just like slunging it up. Like, it's great.
Where is everybody?
They gone.
Before they run out of money for gas.
No, seriously, though.
I have a hybrid and I'm complaining, so you know it's bad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I found gas for $4.04 a gallon and was actually excited. I'm like, that's bad. Like,
Yeah, $3.99 is the best I've found today. So,
damn, where was that?
Ouch.
Actually, the one there in Canton had $3.99.
Well, that makes sense. It's a little cheaper that way. A
No,
little.
actually, most of the main ones are over in the main drag of Canton are like $4.19.
That's kind of our standard rate right now.
I think
Sort of.
last time I bought gas was probably $2.65, but that was about 7 years ago.
I just
okay. Oh, I'm like, you son of a bitch, where have you been? I was about to freak out. I'm like, what? He must have excellent credit. Like, yeah, right. We're in a comedy thing. We don't have credit. Like, well, I'm sure maybe the customers, the employees of the audience may have. Oh my God, I'm gonna use the bathroom.
all right, well, let's get this show up. Thanks everybody for coming. This is our 48th episode of Quarantine Comedy. We've been doing it pretty much every other week since the quarantine started back in 2020.
Wow.
Which means we've almost hit 2 full years of this is tough. It's I mean, I don't mind doing them, but I hate the reason we're doing them. But it looks like things are getting better. It's just, of course, now the point at which we are able to go outside and do things, we can't afford the gas to get there, you know. You know, it's always something. Yeah, I'm a big science fiction fan, and I've noticed that the science fiction movies, they tend to have this desire to show off sex in zero gravity. And the thing is with sex in zero gravity, women, you got to understand, we guys, we kind of need traction. need to push off a little bit to get that thrust, And the problem is with zero gravity, get that thrust, it just keeps moving, and then you bounce off the wall. And that's like having sex in a bouncy house. It's work. Sounds like it's fun. Trust me, it's not. Because you try putting a peg in a hole while it's moving. It's like, I'm not a marksman. It's not. Have you ever tried whack-a-mole? I suck at whack-a-mole. It's not gonna. And think about this. Have you ever looked at the sheets after sex? Do you really want that stuff floating around? And can you imagine the cleanup? It's like, oh, there's some over there. Oh, there's some down there. Some over. Oh, shit. It's everywhere. Take forever. I mean, I suppose you could just turn the gravity on, but just make sure you're not the happens. Oh. It's been a fun pandemic. I think the job that I would not want to have, or would not have wanted to have during the pandemic, was a job in security. Because anytime something went wrong and you had to find the masked assailant, I mean, come on, really? Everybody has a mask. How are you going to do it? I didn't find it. I never find the right guy. And I did look into security cameras at one point, and the technology is so cool. They can detect animals, they can detect people, they can detect the sound of babies crying or sound of screams. But that does bring up the point of, if you have that wild night of sex, just be aware there's going to be a knock at the door. It's like, officer, she's fine. She's okay. She has never been this okay. Trust me. Look at me. I've been had this girlfriend that had this nickname for me. She called me her Energizer Bunny. She said every time I got in bed, all she could think of was AAA. That's a good rating, right? That's a good rating. Aaron, turn your mic on. I see you're laughing, but I can't hear you.
Sorry.
I think I'm looking over and I have no sound. No sound. Bad enough that we don't get a lot in the Zoom. It's like, then when we have it and they're muted, just no fun at all. No fun.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we have I had this one girlfriend that had a restraining order put out on me. I told her, it's your own fault. You told me to never leave. Now what's for dinner?
Damn.
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
You're not going out in that outfit, are you? I had a girlfriend that told me she wanted a fairy tale relationship. I really didn't know what she meant till I came home and found 7 short guys in the bedroom.
wow. Snow White,
I had a girlfriend who hated it when I used the N-word. I had to say yes to everything.
Damn.
I had this one girlfriend that had this issue with her food. It couldn't touch. It had to be separated on the plate. And I asked her, I said, what about like stir fry? It's all mixed together. She says, it's fine as long as it comes out that way. So I just had to remember to put the whipped cream on before I go into the bedroom.
That's the spirit.
His dog didn't like me very much. It was mixed breed, a cock blocker. But it did like whipped cream.
Oh.
I did like that dog. More than the girl, actually. It did a much better job.
Exactly.
I do feel bad though, because she got rid of the dog when she walked in on us once.
What happened?
That got a bit dark. I've been pushing that a little further each time. It's got a little dark.
Okay.
More upbeat, dick jokes. I mean, it's a short bit. It's not hard. Won't last long. In comedy, we do have a lot of dick jokes. But the thing is, we don't have a lot of ball jokes. balls do not get respect. They have a legitimate gripe. There they are hanging out with the guys. What happens? The girl walks right by them, right to that tall, skinny prick every time.
Maybe not.
Introduces the girl. No, half the time he pushes us aside and introduces her to some asshole. And there we are carrying his stuff around. And what does he do? He leaves it in random socks whenever he can.
Yeah, what a dick.
Jeez. All right, I'm gonna end on this one. How many people like Disney? Round of applause if you like Disney.
I used to.
I don't get Disney. I mean, they give us cookies shaped like Goofy. They give us candies shaped like Daisy. They give us waffles shaped like Mickey. But then they kick me out when I'm eating Minnie.
That was so fun.
Maybe it was the rotisserie and the fava beans. I don't know.
Oh God.
I like that joke because it's a cannibal joke and a sexual pervert joke all wrapped in one. It offends everybody.
Exactly.
All right, that's my time. I'm gonna end up on that one. Before we get into our first comic, I want to let you guys know that we appreciate you being here. These comedians for the last 2 years have not had much opportunity to really get paid for the craft. Well, the show is free and it will remain free, and we are by no means want to force you to feel obligated to anything. If you do enjoy the show and you like to show the comics of appreciation, we have set up 2 ways to donate: through PayPal at paypal.me/BD comedy, or on Cash App at $button-down comedy. If you would like to send them a couple bucks, they would appreciate it. Everything goes to the comics, so feel free to do that. And even if you don't, please join the Button-Down Comedy family. Subscribe to it. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. We have shows every couple weeks. We'd love to see more audience members. So if you had a good time, let your friends know.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to get off the soapbox and get back to fun.
Oh gosh.
Our first comic is a gentleman that I met in Greenville, South Carolina.
Cool.
He tells me he can't see shit. I tell him I've seen shit. He's not missing anything at all.
No.
So please give us a big round of applause. Move here for Aaron Q.
Huge.
All right. Well, thank you, Geo. My name is Aaron Q. A lot of people, as he said, I'm mostly blind. I really can't see a whole lot. So this is actually kind of an interesting. I've done a lot of open mics, but I've never done a Zoom conference. So this is different. I usually have to look for a light, and even in normal comedy, that's not an issue. That's an issue because I can't see it, and I usually try to get them to do a sound. They asked for suggestions, and I said, and they wouldn't go for that one. They wouldn't do the sex moan. So I'm struggling with it, but we're trying to get a bell, trying to do anything besides the light. But there's a lot of worse things to being blind. I could be white, but I don't have to worry about that. But I also no, I'm just I wasn't born blind actually, so it's been a kind of a fun ongoing issue with the VA. I'm a veteran. The vision loss is from bad VA healthcare and bad luck, or I just say it's karma from something I did in my past life. I probably kicked puppies. I don't know yet. But it's fun. Being blind, it's kind of like I think that the whole saying from Spider-Man, with great disability comes great responsibility. So I love to mess with people while I'm blind. I grew up with the whole idea with friends. If one of us was short or a little person, or had Tourette's, we would just constantly mess with people. So when I became blind, I took that upon myself. I like to go into restaurants, and when they hand me a menu, I ask if they have a Braille menu. They never do. So then I asked them if they'll describe the pictures to me. And it's great because then they're like, okay, it's a green salad. And then I ask, well, what is green?
Salad. What green? Good
So that's
green.
fun. I was in Walmart one time in the electronic stuff section looking for an HDMI cable, and one of the store clerks saw me clacking around with my cane, and he came up to me. He goes, "Can I help you with something, sir?" And I pulled out my keys and said, "Yeah, I'm looking for my car," and I'm pushing, the button, and he was completely shocked, didn't know what to do. Pretty sure he called security, and I got escorted out. No, but
Oh my God.
thankfully, no, I'm a father. I have 2 kids, but thankfully I had them before I went blind because I don't think I could find the hole, much less twice now. They always say, you gotta find the wet spot. I just, look for the smell, try to find the smelly spot. So, but it's been an interesting ride over the years. My daughter is almost 12 now, and she is my absolute biggest MVP. She's the MVP of my life, but she's also my biggest critic, and she roasts me on the regular. And she just routinely causes me bodily harm, not herself, but she just likes to move furniture around on me and not tell me. So, I'll come around the corner and I'll just slam my shin into an ottoman, and and that hurts if you've never done it. I'm sure everybody slammed a shin or a pinky toe, and I'm cursing, and I can hear her in the other room, "What happened?" I'm like, "Well, the ottoman just came out of nowhere," and she cackles and says, "Yep." And I say, "When I find you, I'm gonna try to hit you, but I gotta find you first." So she's real quick. She's quick. But no, she's fun. But it's been a while since I've actually. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. That was bad.
Like hung out with the kids.
Oh yeah, hanging out with kids. They're actually here now, but I kicked them to the room so they wouldn't hit me or embarrass me in front of people. They will hit me in public. No, my daughter likes to take my cane from me in public and hit it against stuff and say, "Oh, I'm blind." There's certain restaurants we can't go to anymore. We're not welcome because of her. But she's fun. But over the years, I've accumulated a lot of different nicknames. Most recently, Aaron, Aaron, if you're familiar with Key and Peele. When I became blind, a lot of people started getting real witty and calling me Blind Aaron. And I'm like, "Yo, you're real quick with that one, buddy." In high school, I was called Jew Boy. Before I wasn't blind in high school, but they called me Jew Boy, and I'm not even Jewish. I'm just stingy. Over the holidays, I got called Stevie Wonder Bread. I'm more mad about that one because I didn't think about that one. But about 2 years ago, when I first moved back to Greenville, I moved into the only place I could find was living in a really bad kind of rough area. And so I became friends with the neighbors. It was honestly the hood. And so when living in a rough neighborhood, you have to have a rough nickname. So they named me Glock. And it's not because I'm strapped. It's because I have glaucoma. So, but I am strapped, but it's a Beretta, and that just doesn't roll off the tongue quite the same. So, but it's fun. I like to rub it. I have 3 older brothers, and I like to tease them. And I honestly think it's great because I tell them I'm the most successful one, and I tell my parents to tell them that I'm the most successful one. I'm blind, but I also am the only one that owns my own home. They don't. They still live in apartments, and I say it's got to rub them wrong when their little brother is doing better than them, and and I don't do anything. I do stuff, but it's just gotta hurt them a different way. Just knowing that they'll never be have just like the quite same outlook as me in life. That's a blind joke. Sorry. That's all my jokes. No. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, I dropped my freaking book over there. Oh, well. I recently found out that blind people don't dream in color or shapes, which makes sense to me in a way, but then I get nervous because what do they dream in? Braille? And I'm worried because I don't know Braille. So I'm just going to be confused anyways. But it's been fun going down, the way of being blind, I guess. You got to kind of, find the silver lining. But I guess I'll do one more. My parents have a very interesting how they met story. So interesting that I actually can't tell this to my in front of my dad or my stepmom because my stepmom is overly religious. But my dad and my mom met at an orgy. And originally we thought it was a gangbang, but my mom corrected us and said, no, there was another chick there. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, my cousin, she videotaped it. So, but the theme of it was they're banging a pregnant lady. I have 3 older brothers. We have a different dad. So she was pregnant with my brother Lucas, who's about 1.5 years older than me. And as an adult, I've kind of looked back on that a little bit, and it makes a lot of sense. My brother Lucas is one of the most athletic people I've ever met. He went to state in 3 different sports in high school. He joined the Army track team. He, went and got a full ride to college for running. And it made sense because at an early age, he must have had all that extra testosterone and protein just pumped into him while she was pregnant with him. But I just got to ask, at what point during the orgy does my dad look across the room and see is this my mom bukkake covered? And he's like, yeah, that's the woman. That's the woman I want to marry. And but I guess he shot his shot also because they were married for 16 years. So, but anyways, that's my time. Thank you very much. My name is Aaron Q.
Aaron.
Keep it going for Aaron.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the thing is, I don't understand one of the things you said, because every menu I've ever had always felt like it was Braille.
No, that's just the food. You go to Waffle House too much, don't you? Where their menus are also their placemats.
Shit.
And that's actually local to me in Asheville. I have met her in person. She is a laugh riot. She does stream of consciousness comedy, which means you can watch her and never hear the same thing twice. For that matter, I'm not sure she even knows what she's going to say until she. So please have a big round of applause for Leah Garth.
Yeah.
For my fucking self, I guess. Like, I mean, thank all for you for coming out tonight. Legit. Like, normally, like, I'm guilty as charged. I haven't even come out to like a ton of his shows, and George is the shit. Y'all know that. So, like you said, I mean, gas prices are fucking high, but it's really no excuse to not set up your fucking phone right next to your bed after you wake up from a nap and then roll over and do comedy. Like, how hard is it? Oh my God. Like, but anyway, it's been a while. I've done online comedy before, but it's been a hot minute. And I used to do it in this group called Chicks with Mics. And like, go feminism, go anything women. Yeah. I get it. As a woman, I get all that. That's great. That's wonderful. But like, even I'm kind of like, look, like, there's a line, okay? Everything has a line, and after a while, it's just like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, I do not care what you are saying anymore. Like, okay, women did blah blah. Okay, yes, women did shit. Women have been popping out men who've done shit the whole time. Like, I'm well aware of this. Like, so I'm not shitting on feminism. I'm just kind of like, look, ladies, like, fuck, man, like, just don't be so bitchy about it. Like, the reason that Karen meme exists is because, there's so many bitchy ass women that fit that category. And it's just like, I know there's a male version and I don't know the name of it. I think it's Chad, but the Chad I work with, he's this little 19-year-old scrumptious little muffin. I don't know. He came back to the store after I took over as LSM, which is fucked. Like, I mean, I'm 31 years old and I'm just now understanding what a concept is. I'm just now finally understanding what it means to be needed at work on time. Like, I don't know, like the ADHD and all but with both my parents being bipolar and me not, I'd watch them have meltdowns and just freakouts, and like, they were not, it was, they kept it cool. They kept it oh, Leah, go to your room and talk to your vacuum cleaner because I'm an only child. You know, that's all I had. So I mean, well, I had toys, but I liked the vacuum cleaner. Fuck, man. You know, what can you do? I masturbated with the end of a Swiffer sweat jet handle, okay? You working with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost my virginity to that thing. I was not all that surprised when I got with Trevor Metcalf. Oh my god, damn! Like he was just a couple months younger than me. Shit, speaking of that, but he played the bassoon. I was in marching band. He played the bassoon. During marching band, he played the bass, and he always made this fucking horrible face when he's playing. It was like gutted. I can't even do it, but it was a constant underbite. Or constant, and it's just I'm like, look, if I'm gonna even like, and he didn't ask me to date him. I just came up on him on one of those band buses and was older and bigger and was just like, we're dating now. And I grabbed that motherfucker's hand. I'm like, we're looking at the moon now, and he listened. I'm like, well, okay. Shit, if it's that easy, I'll just grab whatever the fuck I want. And he was a good boyfriend. I felt really bad, but like, I was pretty damn fat. I won't lie. Like, but I mean, I had big old titties. Like, no one can complain about that. But just back, you know, I'm in class of 2008, and it's just back in the day. Like, that's still like. The women are supposed to be this goddamn big around. I'm not physically capable of getting that small. So this kid's asking me like, so when are you getting down to 170? I'm like, when food stopped tasting good, you dumb fuck. Like, what kind of question is that? like, I mean, yeah, I didn't really ask you to date me, but you didn't say no either. We are in America. I know we're at war right now, but that was in 2008 when we forgot, you know, during the Bush residency. Election, you know, whatever the fuck, the Bush regime. Okay, the gas prices when I graduated were right where they are right fucking now. So it's just kind of like, why are any of us surprised? Like, there's too many fucking people. Like, that's why I promote the shit out of birth control. I really do. Taking the same exact pill since I was 16. And honey, it works. I could bukkake if I wanted to. Like, I mean, that's not quite a bukkake, but you know what I mean. Like, I fill it up. Like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Like, yeah, and I don't have any kids. Like, and you know, I mean, I don't have STDs, thank God. So I mean, I've been lucky on that one. But at the same time, like I hear horror stories about people getting herpes, gonorrhea, and all that shit, and I'm just like, God damn. But going back to Trevor's ass, like he was a virgin. I was a virgin of humans. I had my tails toy I'd masturbate with too. You know, and all sorts of things around the house, whatever. Big mouth represent. But like. We're in this exact room actually. Like I'm in the process of moving out. I've been moving out for like 2 months. Like seasonal depression is fucking real. Like, but anyway, we're in this room. It's dark as shit, and we're about to have sex for the first time. I think it's gonna be this is gonna be great, you know. Like, but me and my dad had premeditated that right before like we get it on or whatever you call it. Like, if these I don't give a shit, whatever. Like, Dad was gonna run in there with a chainsaw like up on this bitch. Like it looked like he was mad. Like and we thought it'd be funny. We thought he'd laugh and shit. Oh goddamn no. Like we're making out and he's like, all right, getting ready and everything. My dad kicks the goddamn door in. There's no blades on it, but he's revving the living fuck out of it. Like, what are you doing with my daughter? And he ran into the corner, into that closet right over there. Like, I'll let you look, it's right over there. He hid in that closet and cried in the fetal position. And the weirdest part is after my dad left, we still had sex later. I don't even know how he got it up after like that level of embarrassment. But I mean, go only children. I guess he's another only child. But I don't know. I feel bad. That was technically my first boyfriend, and I shit all over him because the one I wanted literally just said, "Hey, if you dump him, I might go out with you." And I went, oh fuck, yeah. So I ran straight to his classroom and said, we're done. And he's like, what did I do? And I'm like, I gotta go, you know. And I ran back to this dude named Cody. And I told him, I dumped him, okay, he's not gonna come back, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, okay. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I said might. I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. You just ruined a good thing for me. His family had money. Goddamn, I was so fucking mad. Like, I offered that kid a Dreamcast for him to kiss me. Like, anything. I wanted him so badly. And we finally wound up, after I was tripping balls, driving my Subaru Loyale, and gas was $4 or something a gallon back in the day. Like after high school a little bit, just actually went down about 3 at that point. I was at Western Carolina, and somehow my best friend of years and years and years, Laura Russell, fails to mention to me. We've been in band together this whole fucking time, diddled and fiddled on the band bus, like with everyone. I've watched so many dicks get sucked, and I'm just talking to the guy while the girl's going on, and like we're having a totally normal conversation, but this guy's getting it on, and I'm like, holy fuck, like. And my mom took over as a chaperone one year, and she's realistic. She's a nurse, like. So she came to the back of the bus. That's where it all happens. Why would we do it right in front of the parents? It's retarded. Like, you go to the back, and Mom just dumps a bunch of fucking condoms, lubricants, like napkins and Sandy wipes everywhere. Oh, baby wipes out the ass, and just says, "Have fun." And like, oh my God, that back of the bus number 2 was fucking plastered. I'm telling you, like, I'm sure we didn't get our deposit back. Kids are fucking, they'll fuck anything. They'll fuck anything. Like, it's, I mean, literally anything. Like, I'm 31 years old, and there are 2 17-year-olds in my work. One had to go down to patent because I'm not Smoky Boy. There's just no way in hell. We're both ADHD, only children. We can't work together. And he has the biggest fucking crush. And I'm like, you have just turned 17. You are too fresh. Like, oh my God. Like, so. He does transfer down there. We still talk. I'm still taking just like with Trevor, I didn't ask. I was just kind of like, we're going to the anime convention. And these kids are like, yes, we're going to the anime convention. It's like a form of fucking hypnosis. Like, I don't know. Like, I work at this car wash, and you can just keep people's attention just like by demanding that whatever your reality, well, my reality may be, is what is. Like, they come in ready to cancel their membership. They're ready to raise hell. And then I'm sitting there at the desk, and they're just like, oh, hello, Leah. I'm like, yeah, you ain't gonna cancel that shit. Can't do it to me. They just can't fucking do it. Like, I just don't have the heart. I don't know what it is. Like, they wait till, like, anyone else shows up, and then they go off on them. I'm like, it's not fair. Life isn't fair. Like, and there's times I wish I could just fucking show up in a room and not everyone fucking notice. I've never held down a job long enough to actually understand my role in a job, not just the title, but your actual, you know what I mean, that character you take on, like the waiting kind of setup, if you will. Like, and there's a hierarchy everywhere you go, even in a fucking car wash, which is just like, I don't know why anyone cares. It's just, we press the button, we spray the car, they go. You fold some rags, and then you fucking listen to music, get stoned in the bathroom, like just whatever. Like when my buddy Theron was there, he'd have all these. He has a girlfriend, still has her. It's fucking crazy. Like, and yeah, has a girlfriend, but he always has a different woman, always, constantly. Like, and he's told me why. It's kind of sad actually, but I won't even go that way. But still, it's just like, I've gotten more ass, like, against my will, like just female ass, like, and I won't lie, like, I'm an ass person in general. If you got a nice ass, like, while I'm on the job, I'm getting paid to check you out. Like, look at that shit. People bending over. I'm so sorry you're blind. Like, missing out on a nice ass. I'm glad you can still feel, smell, taste. I mean, whatever else you got to do. But like, I'm sorry, man. Like, my vision definitely I didn't used to need glasses, but then I got checked out, and I have 2 stigmatism. I don't look like goddamn Steve Buscemi in a few years. Like, I don't even know. Like, but that's okay. I mean, I love Steve Buscemi. Oh, thank God, like, yeah, you can tell it's been a minute since I've done, talk to myself comedy. Like, hi, I used to, my mom told me, like, fuck, like, I had to beg my parents to go to church. Like, I wanted to go to church so bad. I live in Weaverville, North Carolina. That's where I grew up and shit, and went to school at North Buncombe, Blackhawks, whoop, whoop, you know, all that fucking hillbilly bullshit next to Madison County inbred motherfuckers. Like my mom, she's from South Korea. Technically, she's half Korean, half hot Springians, as I say. Like because her fucking father, instead of making the right decision, went and picked her mama back up when she's 8 months pregnant out of South Korea and brought her back to Hot Springs, Madison County, while the KKK's going down. Cold War's just ended. Like we're in the middle of Vietnam's going on. I'm like, motherfucker, what was this child thinking? Like, what were you thinking? And what? Oh, they'll just accept it. I'm learning with age. Sorry to be kind of down on this, but like, people fucking suck. Like, I've come back to comedy, crawling back, because at least in the comedy world, and at least amongst humor, there's some honesty left. Because god dang, like you think you're cool with somebody at work, and then literally this motherfucker has the audacity to break into one of those kids' phones and like take pictures of our conversations and shit and show them to my boss. There's nudity in those. He's a married man. Like, and to my district manager. I hear I'm the last person to see what's happened, but I'm told immediately. But like, God, I don't understand why people are so conniving. I don't see why you feel like anyone would feel like they need to stomp on somebody to get to the top. I mean, really, one of the worst things I did was dump that kid just in hopes that other kid would date me. Like, I've done some fucked up shit for sure. Like, but stealing from a Walmart versus stealing from your grandma are two totally different things. Okay, I don't care what you think. Like, there's sentimental value, and then there's goddamn toilet paper or hot dogs and ketchup. In my case, I was arrested for stealing hot dogs and ketchup. Like straight up arrested. Like it was like Les Miserables shit. Like it was just a loaf of bread kind of shit. It was pathetic. Like, and I go up and I was in jail for 2 months over hot dogs and ketchup. I'm like, I ain't paying no $600 damn dollars to get out of this shit. Like, but when I left and walked next door to this homeless shelter, and they were serving like salmon. It was really good. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I put on weight. I quit doing drugs and shit. Like, of course you relapse, all that shit. I ain't no Eminem. I'm not cool like that. But hell, I'm trying to hold it together at least. But man, kids these days are fucking weird. And if any of you have kids, like you said, I know you do, you have a couple, like I'm congratulations. I think if you're happy, I'm happy. Like if they're happy, that's what matters. Okay, fuck yeah. Like, but people who just pop out like babies to get EBT and shit, $200 ain't enough.
No.
And that's about all I gotta say, because I've lost my train of thought so much. I'm so tired. But thanks for having me. I don't know. Don't let someone lose their virginity politely. That's all I gotta say. Oops.
Yeah. Woo.
Leah,
Wow.
that 6 mics. Are you sure that wasn't Aaron's mom's video?
I don't know.
Liner tonight as a lady I met virtually doing basically a comedy show called The Surly Wench. The live show that she does in Tucson, Arizona at the Surly Wench Pub is now back live. So if you find yourself in Tucson, definitely look it up and check out the show. I know I will if I ever get out that way. I'm looking forward to meeting you. But please put your hands together. Big round of applause for Roxy Merari.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. Hey, Geo. Hey, thanks for having me on your show. And another round for Aaron and Leah. Heck yeah, doing the thing. Wow, I can totally relate. We have a blind comic here in Tucson also, and he his is a progressive thing. He wasn't always, right?
Mhm.
And he has a joke about his friend told him, oh, I took some peyote and I saw some shit. And he's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Then give me some, like I want to see some shit.
Yeah.
And Leah, a girl after my own heart right there. I was a total humper when I was a kid. I get it. Like
Oh,
oh my God. I used to hump the edge of my desk in third grade. Like I couldn't get out to recess without that. Like I was
going
crazy.
outside when you got
And
what's
I was it's still my turn though. And and so when I had a kid, like I was totally checking is my kid gonna be a humper? But they're not, as it turns out. So good for that. Yeah. I didn't mean to tell you I was a single mom until a lot later, after you maybe decided whether or not you liked me. And now the cat is out of the bag. Yeah, I'm one of those people that I did accidentally have a kid. But it's good. Like it's hard. It's really hard well, I don't have as much help as I would need. You know what I mean? Like finding a babysitter is super hard when you're a single mom, especially because I'm a comic. I like to be out at night, and so it's really hard to find babysitters. But I found this free, great babysitting app that I use, and you don't even have to be single to use it. You can be married people can use it too, but it's called Tinder.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a fantastic, like usually when, like last night I had a in real life show, and I just swiped and swiped, and this fellow came over and he's like, hey, you're cute. And I'm like, you're whatever, I'm sure you're fine. Your background check came up clean. It's all right. And he's like, well, what kind of date really turns you on? And I'm like, what gets me so hot, dude, is just when you stay here and watch Disney movies for a couple of hours while I go take a shot of tequila and tell some jokes. Are we good? We're good, right? It's fine, right? Yeah. And no, it's fine. Like I do this all the time. You look really concerned as a parent, Aaron. I assure you, this is Arizona. No, don't even worry about it. This is Arizona. My child's 10. Like, obviously she's got a gun, you don't have to worry about her. She'll be fine. She can defend. I'm not a millennial. Like, who do you think taught me how to use the app? It's definitely my kid,
Oh God,
no, she's got one just for kids, just for like play dates and study dates. It's called Kinder.
What?
So she'll sometimes be on a date, when I get home. It's weird. Like Zoom comedy. Well, first of all, Zoom comedy is so weird because you can see yourself. So I'm purposely like not looking that way because I don't like to see myself when I'm doing this. But also, when I started Zoom comedy, it was the first time that I had ever seen behind me. And like I was sitting on my bed doing comedy one night and I'm like, oh my God, I have a headboard. Like I didn't even know that I had a headboard, because I think what happens is usually like I'm just too close to see it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so I never noticed it. It's green, by the way, just FYI, it's green. So a little bit about me. I'm from Los Angeles originally, and I recently went back for a high school reunion, which was interesting because the people in Los Angeles are obsessed with their looks. Like they are just obsessed with youth and like never changing. It's really weird. And so like all the people, like there was not one gray hair. Like nobody in my graduating class had a gray hair as of 2022. Like it was so weird, right? And like all their, their noses are up here and all their little, everything is still just pointing to the sky. Nothing has sagged even a quarter of an inch. But that baloney, it just gets in your head, and after a few days, because I look pretty much the same as I did back then. Like I have not like my shape and everything. Anyway, that baloney, that obsessiveness about like shape and beauty and voluptuous, it gets in your head after a while, and after a few days, I was like, oh my God, maybe I should go get some silicone. Maybe I should do something. Like maybe I should just go, not a lot, like maybe just like one cup size though, but like in my pussy.
Oh God. Whoa.
No, you guys care about high school skinny. I care about my high school panocha. Panocha
Yeah.
is the Tucson word for lady parts. It's the best word for lady parts ever, I think.
Say that
Right? Because it doesn't even sound like what it is. You just say panocha. It just sounds like a little pastry, right? Like, I'm just gonna go eat a little panocha, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it'd be nice to just get a cup size right down there in my panocha, just to keep it more grabbable, you know. No, that's an inside joke. That's just an inside joke from 2015. Like, you probably wouldn't. It's whatever.
Man.
You guys see, okay, you don't watch the news. All right.
I know.
No, but I do date sometimes because I'm a little bit on the market. Not too much. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm at a weird age where I can date kind of a wide range of ages, which is nice because I like a wide range of people. But like, some guys are just too young, you know, like I was at this guy's house. Well, first, the thing is, he came to my house and he was like, "Oh, why do you have all these extra pillows on your couch?" You know, and I'm like, okay, he doesn't know what decorative pillows are. And I didn't even realize until I went to his house to spend the night one time and I asked him for a pillow and he just gave me 3 t-shirts rolled up around some socks. You know, I guess like a blanket is just out of the question, right? It's just out of the question. Yeah, I don't know. Young guys say stupid things, you know, they watch too much pornography and they learn all these stupid things that no woman wants to hear. That's what they learn from pornography. And like, so I got this one the other day, like this kid was like, I say kid, he wasn't a kid, he was a man. Like, I don't date kids, you know, that's disgusting. But, you know, he was definitely younger than I was. And he's like, "Roxy, I'm going to blow your back out." And by kid, really, I mean like 30, like that's so, really 30 is too young for me right now. And I know because he said to me, "Roxy, I'm going to blow your back out," which he obviously heard in a porn. And I'm like, kid,
No.
that is not a flex or a brag. Okay. I do that every day getting off the couch. Like, that is not hard for do that, you know. Yeah, they just say silly things. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and you know, older guys are fun too because it's like they well, I don't know, sometimes they fall asleep after sex, you know, and you just like steal their stuff. Wait, where does that fall in the line of the Walmart and the grandma? I think, yeah, that's pretty bad one. I'm doing callbacks to somebody else's joke. What's wrong with me? Wow, it must be a Friday night on Zoom. I didn't, you know what? I'm in a group chat with like with a bunch of comics that I've been in a group chat with for 8 years, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing a Zoom show tonight. And my one friend who like split off, and now he's in Chicago, and he's like, wait, Zoom comedy's still a thing?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, it is. There's still an international community, but and it's because of people like you, Mr. Geo Wagner. So I am grateful. I love Zoom. It's been fun. Yeah. So mom, dating, whatever, men, women, I don't know. People, you know, like all the young kids in the comedy scene, they all like ask me sex advice. Like, they think I'm gonna know. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm an awkward comedian just like you. Like, this facade is facade. You know what I mean? But they're all the kids want to like, Roxy, you know, just does size matter? And I'm like, are you asking me because you're really small or because you're too big? I need to know. No, no. But the fact is, size does not matter. I have to explain this only to the young kids because our grown folk already know that it does not matter. But the young folk, they don't know. And I have to assure them, like, yes, size does not matter, you know, just hardness does, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did mention I was from Los Angeles. So now I live in Tucson, Arizona, and it is really, really, really hot here, like just unimaginable. And I was not used to it at all when I got here. But I have done some workarounds now. Like, now I just put my makeup on several inches higher than it belongs, and I let it melt into place during the day, you know. Good. Around about midnight, I have like eyeliner around my belly button, and I just like, I hunch down to wink at you, you know, just like, just me being friendly. I'm not having a coronary. I'm just like, that's how I got to wink at you. Yeah. No, it is so hot here. And, you know, there's people in the Pacific Northwest, right? And they don't get hardly any sun. It's foggy and rainy, 300 days a year. They're all depressed. They have a thing called SAD. They're
Yep.
sad. They don't get enough sun. SAD. They're literally sad. Seasonal affective disorder, right? And I tell them, just like, move to Tucson, you'll commit suicide for an entirely different set of reasons.
Nice.
So many reasons. We have SAD here in Tucson, but it's just sweaty ass disease.
Ugh.
So many of us are guilty of it.
Mhm.
No, but it's funny too, because I also sometimes I work down by the university, and all the kids, they walk around here in really, really short shorts because it's always hot here, and it's University of Arizona, and all these kids come from like the farms in cold Ohio and Michigan. They flock here, right? And they just love to run around in their short shorts. And, but it's hot here. And so when you walk by like the sidewalk cafes or something, and you hear them trying to get up out of their seats, all you can hear is like,
Oh, you. Ooh.
no, sometimes you don't hear that pop at the end, and you just know that they're really stuck, But I walk around with a little spatula. I help them up, like, get to class. You're wasting your parents' money. Now get going. But like, really, I shouldn't really even be picking on them, because if I wore short shorts, and I tried to get up off a chair like that, it would probably just look like a frog trying to push off of a lily pad with its tongue.
Ew.
That's a thinker. I like it. I don't care. It's gross. Sometimes I just want to be gross. Just give me a little room to be a little gross every once in a while. I'm so polite all the stinking time, really. If you saw me in person, you'd be like, oh my God, relax.
Oh, man.
I don't even get high, but I do get hello. Pretty hello right now. I think of dumb things when I'm hello. I saw this package. I got this package of some food, and it said, store in a cool, dry place. So I put it in my friend Amber's record collection.
Oh.
She's really cool. I think it's dry over there. I tried to be a perfectionist, but I just couldn't get it right. I take vitamins and I take supplements. I like the supplements better. They're more friendly, because like when I open the cabinet, they're like, "What's up?" Laments.
Oh.
I don't care. Feeling stupid right now is fine. I've slept maybe 12 hours this week. Like, it's been a lot. I have to be back on the road tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, Los Angeles and looking good and penises. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I grew up in the Valley. I was a Valley girl, like one of the original Valley girls. And so, all my teenage years were in the 80s. So naturally I have just like a ton of earring holes. And yeah. And then, so like earlier this week, I went to put earrings in my very lowest ones, and they wouldn't stay in. Like, my ear was just like spitting them out. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even keep earrings in those holes. Like, out of all the holes in my body, I didn't think my earring holes were going to be retired first. Okay. It's so stupid hot here in Tucson. You guys, there was a rain cloud today, and there was a 30% chance of rain. And sure enough, there was like 2 drops on my windshield. And I'm like, oh, I was so excited that we're going to get a little rain. I went and I stood outside and I went, like totally stuck my tongue out and was just going to catch a raindrop. And this raindrop came and it got like right here, and then it just evaporated, And I was like, why doesn't that happen when I'm with my boyfriend?
Oh, geez.
That'd be handy.
I don't know. I do want to date more. I wanted, like, for a while, right before pandemic, it was the new year right before pandemic. Right. And I had one New Year's resolution that year, and it was just going to be to have more sex. Really. That was it. And that just meant any, because that would have been more, So that was it. That was my whole goal for the year. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get creative with it. Like this year, I want to join the Mile High Club. I've heard about that. That sounds fun. I'm going to do it. And then, as you know, all the airplanes and everything shut down. So I was like, you know what? I live near an Air Force base. Maybe I could find like one of those cargo helicopter pilots and just join the quarter-mile high off the ground club.
Never.
But those military types, they're not about this. They're not about this. So luckily this is Tucson. And as you can imagine, there are a shit ton of trailers, like so many. And yeah, I joined the 4 foot high off the ground club. What? Somebody was talking about science fiction earlier. Who was that? Who was talking about science fiction earlier?
Geo.
You know, weird things happened this year, right? Like, we had a bookseller and a record producer have a space race. Like that happened in real time in the past year. Like both of those wackies went into space. And which I get it, because when you have $200 billion, Cayman Islands is not offshore enough. You have to go farther away to hide your money. And it's such a load of, like, 200 billion is what he was worth, right? And like his net worth increased during pandemic because we were all reliant on it. But that is a made up number. 200 billion is just because you take numbers and throw zeros behind them and name it something doesn't make it like a real number. Like, you know how I know it's not a real number? Because you and I cannot count that high. You can't. You can like use a calculator or but if you were born, somehow you were born able to talk and count I want to say consequentially, sequentially. Thank you, brain. Thank you. Even if you were born with the ability to count out loud and you started counting the day you were born, you would die. Even up to the best of modern science, you would die before you could count all the way to 200 billion. That's how I know it's a made up, stupid number. And there's nothing that you can have 200 billion. Oh, here, I collect seashells. Oh, well, how many do you think you have? 200 billion. No, you don't. That's the beaches, like, hey, look at my coin collection. How many coins do you have? 200 billion. I have 10 houses and they're just it's not a real, the only thing you can have 200 billion of is like bacteria in your gut. Like, I'm pretty sure you can't own 200 billion of anything. That's how I know it's a made up number. So, but yay, science fiction. I mean, they want to go be wacky in space and like do a 4-minute roller coaster, use all the fuel in the world at 450 a gallon. Like, go for it. That's it. Next time invite me though. Like, come on. People are like, Roxy, what about, like, because I'm into science fiction too. They're like, Roxy, what do you think about those sex bots? This is a dirty joke. Do you guys like dirty jokes, or is this a clean crowd? Doesn't matter.
Dirty jokes.
Do it.
Oh boy. All right. Well, this is just facts. I'm just going to state facts here. Let's not judge it. Let's not. But my friends really asked me the real question of this. Roxy, aren't you afraid of sex bots taking over? Dating's going to be obsolete once the sex robots come in. They're always ready. They don't talk back. You can build them to specification. And I'm like, no, you know what? Sex robots are not the greatest threat to the dating woman of modern times. The greatest threat to single women everywhere is straight men discovering their prostate and not feeling guilty about it. It is. It's true. It's true. I can't compete. I cannot compete with the prostate. One time somebody asked me, hey, can you do that for me? Can you manipulate that for me? And I was like, all right, I need to see what this is about. So I complied. And listen, that person had the most heavenly experience, more heavenly than I've ever seen anybody have a heavenly experience. I was like, really? Okay, great. And I'm supposed to compete with this thing that I can barely see, can't barely touch, doesn't it? Really? So what we need to do, straight gals of all kinds, is we need to remember to convince straight guys that it's definitely very gay if they let anyone touch that. We just need them to believe it. We know it's not true, but we need them to believe that. So that's my fix for that. All right. Since we're on the topic, some very real crap is happening in my life right now, which keeps bringing me to the town of Beatty, Nevada, population 800. I have to go back in a couple of days. And so that is where my stepmother passed away and left a business. And that's where I have to go back. And so I was there with my sister just a week and a half ago, and we're going through a ton of pictures. This person, not only did she save phone books, yellow pages from like 2008. I'm like, really? Why? Don't move with this stuff. But it is that kind of personality that also has every picture she ever took, like never edited, never threw one out. So we're going through boxes and beautiful pictures, vacations, and then all of a sudden, sexy photos of my own father and my stepmother. And good for my dad. Okay, great. Didn't know you had it like that. Good for you. He passed away in 2006. So bless your heart, Dad. I'm glad you had it the way you had it while you had it, because now as a grown person, I can appreciate why other women appreciated you. Okay, disgusting. But further on down the pictures, I start finding pictures of him when he was getting really ill. And, you know, by the third one, he was so gaunt and so frail, and it was so disturbing that I was like backpedaling toward the dick pics. You know what I mean? I never thought I would see the day when it would be preferable, where I would need pictures of my dead father's penis to wash away a worse picture. Okay. Geo, how many minutes is that light, love?
You can go as long as you want.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay. So while we're on the topic of dicks, I got to tell you that my own child got busted the other day. She went out for a walk. Well, I should have known to be suspicious when I cooked her and her friend this like great, beautiful, lovely dinner. And then afterwards, my child says, "Hey, we want to go on a walk." So I think, okay, they're going to do some, like let's see, maybe they stole a little wine or something. Like, let's see what these two are really going to get up to, you know, because they're pretty innocent. And anyway, 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, and I'm like, oh, well, now it's dark and I haven't heard from them. What's happening? Another 10 minutes go by. Now I'm like, all right, putting on my jacket, getting ready to head out to go with my flashlight and go take a look, see, when my phone rings. And I don't recognize the number, but this time I just pick it up anyway, because I'm like, I have a feeling it's for me, you know? And sure enough, it is. It's Officer Mark with the Pima County Sheriff's. And he tells me that he has my child and my child's friend, which I'm already trying to think, like, how am I going to explain this to a Black mom, you know? Anyway, I said, well, what happened? He said, well, they were spray painting. They stole my spray paint and went out. And I said, oh, officer, I hope you're scaring them real good. What did they paint? He said, phallus. I was like, you're kidding me. This is awful. So I gather my child. Long story short, she's just a shriveling wreck, just crying. I'm like, look, kid, you got to buck up. If you're going to do stupid stuff, you know, you better take it. Anyway, the next morning, I'm like, let's go see this phallus. You know, let's just go drive on the way to school. No, mom, no. So sure enough, I'm coming down the sidewalk, street, you know, Major Boulevard, down my house. And I pull over, I see like this red thing, and I pop out and I burst out laughing, which infuriates my child, of course, even more, because on the sidewalk is something that looks only like a balloon animal. You know, so, okay, bad on the police contact, but like, yay, mom, my child has clearly never seen a penis. Yay. Oh my God. I got some new jeans at the Goodwill today, you guys, and I love them because they do not give me the camel toe. They don't give me camel toe. And for that, I'm very grateful. But who came up with the term camel toe, by the way? I mean, that had to be a guy, right? Obviously that was a guy. right?
Oh, of course.
I mean, or is there just like a bunch of mean girl camels somewhere, like maybe in Egypt, just going like, look at her, she has vagina foot.
Vagina foot.
I don't know. It just means that once upon a time, there was a guy looking a camel up and down, and he looked down at its foot and said, yeah, I'd have sex with that.
Yeah. Probably.
I did write some notes. Was there something else I wanted to talk about? Do. Oh, yeah. So somebody misunderstood me the other day because I was like, I could really go for a kidnapping, and they really took that the wrong way. You know, all it meant is like, I wish my kid would sleep a little bit so that I could just relax for 10 minutes. You can just make that happen. Oh, goodness. On the way to a show the other day. Well, don't you love it when they have those like street signs that say like, and I'll end on this. When they have like those signs that say things like click it or ticket, you know, they act so concerned, right? Click it or ticket. Well, I was driving through Arizona, and I saw one that I'd never seen before, and it went like this: drive drunk and you'll spin like a dreidel.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt so seen, right? I was like, oh, they did one for us. Oh my gosh. It's like totally not anywhere near Hanukkah, but like I love the sentiment.
The effort.
But then further on down the line, I saw one that they did for the Christians. Yeah. And it said, drive hammered, get nailed.
Oh.
Damn. Ooh, that's
I'm pretty
good.
sure that's what happened. Anyway, you guys, this has been really fun. It was good hanging out with you guys. Check out Wench Comedy, and if you're ever in town, come to the Surly Wench, and I'll buy you a drink. And thank you to our audience tonight for tuning in.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Rock, I want to say one thing is that, you know, with that whole Bezos and space thing, we paid $24 a can for Lysol so he could fly a dick into space.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
our
the other
hands
thing,
were tied. I didn't know what else to do.
oh, I know. The other thing, like, they always talk about size matter, and all I have to say about that is it's a poor carpenter who blames his tools. All right, well, thanks everybody. I had a great time. Thank you. John was our last remaining audience member. Thank you for attending. I hope you had a good time. Please, like I said, join the Button Down Comedy on Facebook or Instagram. We'll post the next show will be in about 2 weeks. And if you had a good time, please tell your friends. We'd love to see more people here. Laughter is our cocaine. For some of us, pain is our cocaine. For others, we have just the laughter.
You do
Yeah.
this every 2 weeks.
Yeah, usually every 2 weeks. Every once in a while, I have to juggle it, but usually every 2 weeks. So, thanks. I want to thank you guys. All had some great sets. I was laughing my butt off, and I could lose a little bit of that, so that works out well.
Cool.
job,
Thank
guys.
you.
Sure, that was very funny and informative. Thank you
And,
very much, Geo, for putting this on.
And
Yes.
comment if you guys want your sets, the video of your sets. Let me know. I can send you the clips, the video of it.
Cool.
Thanks,
Cool.
Geo.
Right
All right.
on.
I want to copy this information out of the chat.
Okay.
I had to get my kids in bed, so it's
I gotta get mine.
Hi, nice meeting you.
yes, it's 9:30 here. So appreciate it. Thank you.
That's 9:25 here, but nice
Oh yeah,
meeting
same,
all of
yeah.
you. Good to
Yeah,
see
we
you, George.
usually do movie night, so
Yeah,
cook
please.
some popcorn. So,
Like, well,
Good to see
bye.
you,
Have a
Enjoy
great
your
weekend,
popcorn
everybody.
and-
Thanks for coming, John.
Betcha.
thank
Good
you,
to see
Gio.
Yeah,
Nice
thank you,
meeting
John.
everybody.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
Geo.
Keep doing it.
Roxy, did you get everything you needed? Oh, she's gone. Okay, I guess she did.